A while back, I was asked to be in a video collaboration, and I really wanted to be a part of it. The concept was spring, and I really had no idea what I was going to do. So when I'm out of ideas, I do one of my favorite things, which is going looking for curbside treasures. That's trash at the side of the curb. I have seriously a superpower. I found a lot of great stuff over the years, and that's why I continue to do it. I also have a passion for saving things and finding them new homes and making them pretty again. So I got in my car and I got a whole bunch of great treasures, and this inspired me to create a junk garden. Recently, I went back out again and I've been searching for something for my garden. You see, I have a problem. Strawberries that we planted a few years ago are now in competition with our new puppy, George.
What's up, George? George, what are you trying to tell me, bub? Yeah. Oh.
He thinks it's a great idea to have a little strawberry as a treat. We're losing out on the harvest, and although we don't mind him having an occasional strawberry, wiping out our whole harvest is just a little bit too much. So we knew we needed to relocate the strawberries. And I had a few plans, but I didn't have a lot of time to build anything. I was shocked when I discovered this curbside treasure.
I couldn't believe when I was driving around that I found this. All I saw at first was a hint of blue, and I circled back around and then discovered that it was an old door that had had all of the glass removed and then had been retrofitted with pieces of gutter sections that were closed off on the ends and then were drilled for holes. This was absolutely perfect, and no build was needed, which was even better. All I had to do now was get the door ready for my garden. I also found a few other treasures that day, but we'll get to those. The first step was to deal with the peeling paint, and so I thought the easiest way to do this was to get out my orbital sander and 220 grit sandpaper. I soon discovered 220 grit was not going to cut it, and I did have to upgrade to the 80 grit sandpaper, but I decided before I even did any sanding, I would first just get out my paint scraper to remove a lot of the flaking paint, which came off quite easily. I followed with my sander to help make sure that all the loose paint was removed. The sanding also did a little distressing, and I quite liked the look. It brought back the white paint that was underneath the blue. Once I was finished, I removed all of the sanding dust off of the door, and the next step was I was going to need to seal this from the elements. This was going to hang out outside in Michigan year-round, so I was using a heavy-duty outdoor sealer. I went with Minwax Spar Urethane, and there's a link to this product and many of the other products I used in my Amazon affiliate link below. Painting it on was quite easy. I did make sure to try to paint every section, and I flipped the door over to make sure that all sides and the edges were really coated well. I did about 2 coats, but in some areas that I was concerned about, like the top and the bottom that would be exposed even more, I put additional coats just to make sure it could really hold up to the elements. And after the first coat, it did work quite well. We got like a sudden summer storm that just rolled through. I didn't even notice it was raining until it was too late. Luckily, the water beaded up on the door, so that was good. I did have to wait until everything dried out to apply the additional coats. Sometimes one project inspires many, and I had recently just gotten these outdoor vintage lawn chairs. I decided I might as well paint those up for my yard too, and I decided to carry on the blue theme, and I used DIY cottage colors in Blue Hills for the paint. I do want to let everybody know that I sanded them down first, and I also applied a Rust-Oleum clear sealer ahead of the painting just to make sure that I would keep the rust out and seal these really nicely. DIY cottage colors really has held up well for me outdoors. I am going to put them on a covered porch, so they will be a little protected. I'm planning on putting the door in this spot. There's also an old post that'll be extremely helpful to help secure things. It's still in the ground with cement, so I won't have to put any post in. I had to move the wheelbarrow here. If you remember, I have a previous video where I showed you how I made this wheelbarrow planter. It's not an ideal spot, and I need to spruce it up a bit and move it. I'm going to show you why I had to move it. Unfortunately, we had to remove the large evergreen in the corner here because it was in the power lines. And this spring, I decided to plant a pumpkin, just one seed, and it has taken over the entire area. But the bees love it, and we have pumpkins. In my garden, I love to grow pretty flowers, and they've been doing pretty well for me. But I have to say, I really have lately gotten the garden bug, and my one little side vegetable garden has blossomed into another garden and another garden. So I'm really enjoying the whole process. Please be kind. I am a new gardener, so I'm just experimenting and trying things out. But we love to grow our own food and plant our seeds and enjoy our wonderful harvest, even when things are successful or not. So there is an area behind my garage that's never been featured in videos because I had horrible morning glory weeds I was battling and really much wouldn't grow. I'm hoping next year to turn this space into a new vegetable garden. If you'd like to see future garden videos, if that's something that'd be interesting to you, please comment down below. This will be the new location for the wheelbarrow garden. The bush that was here was overgrown and a lot of it was dead, so I've decided to remove it. The first thing I need to do with the wheelbarrow garden obviously is weed it. Because the wheelbarrow garden was in the back of my garden, I really didn't see it very often and it kind of got neglected. So let's clean it up, make it pretty, and move it to its new location. Moving it is very easy because it's a wheelbarrow. Hello. Hi, Bubba. George, are you helping me? I got the wheelbarrow in position and I am using some of the rocks my daughter has collected over the years just to make it pretty. It's looking so much better. It'll be also really closer to the water. I just don't like this area. If you remember, I found this old railing curbside and I really like it for the idea of a trellis, but the season is short and I don't have anything to grow up it at this time, so I do have an idea for that space. Stay tuned to the end to find out what I do. Back to the area where I'm going to be putting the door planter, and the ground needs some cleaning up. The wheelbarrow was on top of it, so I need to make this area pretty. I'm going to remove the debris, do a little weeding, and just spruce things up. The spar urethane has dried on the door, and I'm just going to kind of set it in place to get an idea. I did need to kind of level out the area, and I decided to put some stones underneath it to help keep moisture away from the door. So once I've kind of set it in place, now I have to figure out the hard part, and that is how to attach it to the post. And little George is being so helpful for the whole process. I did have some crazy ideas for how to attach it because I was trying to save money. I had some old hardware. I had some brackets that were originally used on a fence, but they really weren't working and I didn't have the tools that I needed to make them fit. So I attached a zip tie as a temporary fix, don't worry, and I headed off to the hardware. I found some pipe clamps and adjustable straps that I think are going to work out just fine. I made sure everything was reasonably level, and then I attached the clamp. I'm using outdoor screws for this so that they will hold up over time. I put 3 of the pipe clamps in place up and down the door, and then once that was all secure, I removed the zip tie temporary measure and I put the pipe strap in place. I did bend down one side of it so it wouldn't be seen as easily through the door opening. And now it was time for planting. I was using a raised bed garden mix. I loaded up each planter, and then it was time to dig up some of the strawberries. Now, for the gardeners out there, I know this is not the ideal time when strawberries have fruit coming on them to be transplanting them, but it's what I had, and I needed to get this project done. So I know I'm rushing things a little bit, but hopefully this will work out for me. The minute I started the whole transplanting process, we got another one of those summer storms, and so I continued working, but my camera had to take a break. The strawberries were all planted, but they were looking a little haggard from the rain that had just come through. I decided to add a few rocks in front of the door to make a nice path to harvest the strawberries. Then it was time to also add a little bit more water just to make sure that they were really watered in with the new transplants.
I really believe that sometimes the universe just aligns and affirms that you're on the right path. And for me, saving old things and making them pretty is really what I believe I was put on this earth to do. Finding that door in the trash just affirmed everything I believe and encouraged me to continue to do what I love.
Let's take a look at how all of the projects turned out. We have had a ton of just downpour heavy rains, so I want to let you know before I show you the strawberries in the door. It's been great for the plants, but the transplants have taken it a little hard. I hope they'll perk up soon. Now, if you remember, when I first set it up, I was not really happy with the railing that I put behind. I don't really have time to grow a trellis or something at this time, so I needed something to cover up the electrical boxes, and I came up with a brilliant idea. I have a vintage screen that I have upcycled. If you want to learn how to do this, you can click on the link to the video above.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's inspired you. If you want to take a full tour of my junk garden or see all of the stages, I'll put a link to the playlist above. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create, and maybe start a junk garden.